you cough up? What was in that cup? Spit it up, sucked it down, but what was in that cup? What did you cough up? Was it phlegm or was it snot? What did you cough up? What made your body rock? On the campaign trail, gotta take a sip. Get a little cough, emit a little spit. Right into the glass, hope no one took a pic. Hide there at top out, drink it, take a tip. What did you cough up? What was in that cup? Spit it up, sucked it down, but what was in that cup? What did you cough up? Was it phlegm or was it snot? What did you cough up? What made your body rock?
Good evening, listeners, brave navigators of the enigmatic and the concealed. Have you ever felt the pull of the unanswered, the allure of the mysteries that shroud our existence? For more than a decade, a unique comic publisher has dared to dive into these mysteries, unafraid of the secrets they might uncover. This audacious entity is Paranoid American. Welcome to the mystifying universe of the Paranoid American podcast.
Launched in the year 2012, Paranoid American has been on a mission to decipher the encrypted secrets of our world. From the unnerving enigma of MK Ultra mind control to the clandestine assemblies of secret societies. From the awe-inspiring frontiers of forbidden technology to the arcane patterns of occult symbols in our very own pop culture. They have committed to unveiling the concealed realities that lie just beneath the surface. Join us as we navigate these intricate landscapes, decoding the hidden scripts of our society and challenging the accepted perceptions of reality.
Folks, I've got a big problem on my hands. There's a company called Paranoid American making all these funny memes and comics. Now, I'm a fair guy. I believe in free speech as long as it doesn't cross the line. And if these AI-generated memes dare to make fun of me, they're crossing the line.
This is your expedition into the realm of the extraordinary, the secret, the shrouded. Come with us as we sift through the world's grand mysteries, question the standardized narratives, and brave the cryptic labyrinth of the concealed truth. So strap yourselves in, broaden your horizons, and steel yourselves for a voyage into the enigmatic heart of the Paranoid American podcast, where each story, every image, every revelation brings us one step closer to the elusive truth.
Paranoid American podcast. We haven't been canceled yet. Today might be the day. Although, hold your horses. Don't get too crazy. But we got Ghost from My Third Eye podcast. And he is a newborn baby onto this particular podcast. So, first of all, welcome to Paranoid American, sir. Thank you for your service. You absolute American hero. How many people did you save again? How many people did you put on your back and save?
It was 69 people.
Not 420?
No, not 420.
That's cool. Okay. Some of us in the 3-digit club. I don't know how many lives listeners have saved, but I'm 3 digits. You're 2 digits. Well, welcome aboard. Plugs up front. First, let's just tell people where to find you, and then we can get right into it.
You can find me in America.
Sweet. Under the docks on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. or 11 p.m. now, I think, Eastern.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Now, you can find me on Instagram at My Third Eye Podcast. You can get the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever, Google, even some of the modern podcast apps that are out there now. You can get the show. I currently dialed it back to 2 shows. I do the main show, and then every week Ryan and I do the Conspiracy Underground News Team. So it's our little news show that we do, and kind of get a little conspira weird with it and what have you, and have a good time with it. And anywhere you, like I said, you'd listen, or mainly on Instagram is where you can find me.
What's the gayest thing you've ever done in the military?
Held another man's wiener while he took a pee.
Oh, that's okay. That's not so bad. What were the actually? Hold on. What were the circumstances around this? Was he
Well, you didn't ask me
inebriated,
what I held. Oh,
disabled?
you didn't ask me what I held his penis with.
Oh, I just assumed your mouth, but what was it?
Oh yeah. It was my lips. I'm just kidding. The gayest thing I ever did in the military. I don't know.
And this is not disparaging. This is a very welcoming. Like I understand now.
Yeah. Like, I guess one of the gayest things I ever used to do, if you could consider it gay, I used to do this joke about having a legwart. Okay. And it worked
Oh my
great
god, dude. Okay, yeah.
with shorts. Okay. So if you have your shorts on, you're sitting up at the enlisted club or maybe down at a local bar or whatever, and you just turn to your buddy randomly, like, dude, I don't know, man. I've been having this issue. I think I might need to go see the doc. Can I get your opinion? You think I should go see it? Buddy looks at it. He's like, well, what is that? I said, I think I got this fucking wart on my leg, my inner thigh. He's like, no way. He's like, are you sure it's a wart? Like it's not like like a cyst or something else? I said, I don't know. Here, look at it. And I would pull my shorts up a little bit and show my inner thigh, and it would take about anywhere from 3 to 15 seconds before they realized I was showing them my ball, one of my nuts. And they're like, oh, you motherfucker. And then the other one I would do is similar situation, be like, oh, fuck, you just sit down. I think I sat in gum. And be like, no way, what? And you just pull out your scrotum sack a little bit on the side so it looks like chewed bubble gum, and you show that. So that's probably the gayest thing I ever did. I used to do that a lot, especially after a few drinks. Be like, dude, I got this legwart. You want to see my legwart?
Dude, I don't need the synchronicity between every time that we're together, but there's two perfect segues there. First of all, Icebreakers is our new sponsor. You mentioned gum, Icebreakers gum. Go ahead and grab yourself some at the checkout. Mention the legwart. It's if you show them a legwart at checkout. And honestly, I've got a similar story. Although this one was way more of I like yours. Yours is very subtle. It actually reminds me, there was the best movie that ever had Eric Bana in it. Can you actually name it? I'm curious. Pop quiz. What's the best Eric Bana movie ever?
Oh, fuck. I'm going to draw a blank. I'm going to throw in the white towel.
Well, that's
right
wrong. It's Chopper, and it's where he plays Chopper Reed, who was like an Australian gangster. And I forgive you if you haven't seen it. It's an unsung hero. It's an undiscovered gem for many people. If you haven't heard it and you're listening to this, go get a copy of Chopper with Eric Bana. And if you really like that, get like the director's cut and get all of like the actual clips of Chopper Reed. Anyways, there's a scene where he's like not necessarily an informant. You'd have to see the movie, but he's a gangster and he's working with the cops, giving him information, and he has to like meet him up at this bar. And he starts playing this game where like, how long can I talk to cops in public with my dick out? Giving them information, and he's just like filling them full of BS just as like a way to like, and then after a while they'll like look down like, oh god, I don't know, it's a common one, but it also requires a little bit of skill and grace. I did not have the pleasure of anyone that had grace in the military, but I've seen a lot of bat wings. Have you ever seen a bat wing before?
Yeah. Yes, bat wings.
That's a big one.
Yeah, the scrotum stretched apart, or you could lift the your male member up, and a freshly shaved ball sack looks like a dove's breast without feathers. So a dove's breast was another one. Yep, yeah, we did bat wings or dove's breast.
I get it. Okay. The bat wing was a first for me, and I was fascinated immediately because it really does highlight how elastic skin can be, and it's such a
in a weird way,
in a very practical way. I don't know, it form and function together at last. It's like basically the iPod of the body. So
when it's really hot, man, it stretches like a motherfucker. When it's cold, you ain't stretching shit.
So there's so many ways like we can go with this. I want to know who suckered you in? What was the recruiter story, or were you just escaping a bad path? Like, what happened, dude? Where did you find yourself so broken that you decided to enter the military?
Well, first and foremost, I come from, on my father's side, a long, long history of military members. So my father's side of the family dates back all the way to the Mayflower. We had relatives that came over on that. And then if you go back in our lineage, in Scotland and Wales and stuff, we have similar paths over there. So I just kind of felt obligated. I was like, I didn't like high school. I knew I didn't want to go to college. And I kind of felt an obligation that I needed to go to the military, whether it's, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, whatever. Well, Army didn't have nothing for me. Didn't care for it. The Navy, they tried butt fucking me any which way but loose, trying to get me in. I was like, no, I don't like your uniform. No, was all set to go in the Marines, and I was in that delayed entry program. They pulled something up in my medical record, and I went through a growth spurt. So when I was a teenager, and my pediatrician at the time, come to find out, because I went to school with his son, huge fucking pothead, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he put in my medical records that I might have possible Osgood-Schlatter's disease, which is a deterioration of your bone in your knee. So they're like, we can't take you. I'm like, I don't even have it. Like, I tried to explain. I went through growth spurt or whatever. So I walked out of there pissed, and I looked to my left, and there was the Air Force. I said, walked in. Well, he sold me a line of shit. Hey, you want to do this job? It's called weapons. You'll be working from the cockpit to the wingtip. I'm like, fucking sign me up, man.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So I was a weapons loader, and that's kind of how I got suckered in and what have you. But like I said, it kind of came more from a lineage of, family on my father's side, always the males going in and being a member of whatever branch. I tried talking my daughter into going, pick a branch, because at the time she was all into wanting to be basically a profiler, I guess you could say, because she was watching. I forget. It was like an.
Don't say SVU. Don't say SVU.
No,
okay.
No, it was a newer one. But they were basically profilers for the FBI. The one character, he was like a nerdy kid, but he had like a photographic memory.
This is like every FBI show, by the way. Like literally every single FBI show, it's got the nerdy photographic memory guy.
Yeah. So she was all gung ho, and I was like, well, why don't you go into the military? I said, pick a branch, go ask, security forces, whatever, be a cop. You get that kind of training, you can go on and be, a cop, and apply for the FBI, whatever. Well, she got into college, her senior year of high school, because she had all her credits, so she went to college early, and realized psychology really wasn't her thing. It kicked her ass, so she decided not to go to the military, and she's going to be a teacher now. Which, hey, more power to you if you want to be around a bunch of little bratty kids. But so the on my side of the family, I stopped the lineage. So with me.
So in a very respectful way, that's really stupid. Like the whole lineage thing, it's dumb.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
It is.
Also, as you described that, as soon as you said, but then she decided to become a teacher, I'm thinking, maybe the military's not so bad. It might actually, you might still go and try and be a teacher, and after a couple years be like, you know what? Military instead. That's actually better than this.
Yep.
So
fuck this. I'm done with these little kids.
So it's this is not about me, but I just want to say really quickly, I've got such an incredibly similar story to you. Me and my best friend, we were both looking to join the military at the same time, and we got this story that I'll oversimplify and combine just for the sake of a freaking anecdote, but went into the Marine.
Can I take a guess? Because the Marine Corps thing, me and my best friend, now he was going to be a reservist, I was going active duty. I forget, was it the buddy program or whatever? You'd go to basic training, you'd go to your MOS together. You'd never be separated until you left for your first duty station. It was kind of
bullshit.
Yeah. but I ruined that with my knees or whatever. But yeah, I forget what it was called. It wasn't bootstrap. It was like the buddy system. I don't remember, but yeah. So I did the same thing.
It does sound pretty gay. They didn't have anything like that in the Air Force.
No.
But yeah. So I had a similar experience though. We went into the Marines and the guy basically said with ASVAB scores like you guys have, you could be going over to the Air Force across the hall and whenever you're stationed somewhere you'll have air conditioning and you'll be able to sleep in a bed and they'll make you food and you might get some kind of college, education or like at least related skills. And he's like, but you guys are, real Americans. I'm proud of you boys. And it was almost like, could you repeat those last 10 things really quick? And we just kind of left that office and walked right across the hall and signed up there. And sure enough, bought the shit that they were shoveling. And I was told that I'd get into the military and I'd leave with a Microsoft certified degree. That is a direct quote. All sorts
Wow.
of yeah. They just fluffed everything up. Oh, you can open the book, pick whatever you want. You want to work on a satellite? It was just like, what's the coolest thing you could think of, bud?
Yeah.
So we did that. And also a very similar thing that when I originally went in, I almost got kicked right back out because when I was going through MEPS, I made the dumb mistake of telling them I had a real allergy, which I did. But that basically was like, oh, sorry, like the recruiter told me YES means your enlistment stops and NO means new opportunities. And the next time
Yep.
that anyone asked me about any kind of a physical ailment or a allergy or anything at all, that just remember YES means your enlistment stops and NO means new opportunities. And that was just a long version of saying lie your ass off about anything that's wrong with you just so that you get in. And it was like warning sign after warning sign that
All
I was
right.
just like driving directly over the warning signs, like not even looking at them, just like so okay, so sweet, man. So it turned out great. I assume you had a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I don't think I would go back and change anything. Met a lot of great people. Still in contact with them today. In fact, one of my guys that I was stationed with randomly reached out through Messenger today, and he's like, "Hey, man, haven't heard from you in a while. It's been probably close to a year, maybe even longer." He's like, "Just making sure you're still doing good." Yada yada yada. Had a small conversation with him, and went about our day. Uh, One thing that I never understood when you're going down to MEPS and everything, and when they're you're doing the duck walk and you're doing all this stuff right in your underwear. What was the significance of the fucking doctor putting his basically almost his nose on your butthole so he could look at your butthole? I never understood why they had to look at our butthole.
Why wouldn't you?
Oh, true. Looking back on it, I probably should have farted.
I mean, in all seriousness, there might be like if you put yourself in whoever's shoes it is that's analyzing like hundreds per day, right? We're not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, they probably
like
were checking for hemorrhage or something. I don't know.
well, I guess the ultimate point is that when it's a numbers game, if you're looking directly at 100 buttholes every single day, you might be able to point out some anomalies. What's that thing with like the Japan or the farmers, right? That once they handle like 10,000 eggs or something, they can start to tell which ones are like I don't even know what the full thing is, but at a certain
Yeah.
point, they don't even have to look anymore. Like they can almost just like tell by the small difference in weight. So
Uh-huh.
I mean, the olfactory sense is far more, it registers deeper than say vision does. So maybe there is like an olfactory essence to whatever they're doing in the MEPS where they can like smell that there's something going on that even the naked eye wouldn't be able to observe. And again,
Yeah.
they're like that
Maybe.
expert, egg handler.
Yeah. Oh man, this guy now it's a little off. I think he might have had baked beans, but yeah, let's pass him through. His starfish looks good.
I mean, if there's going to be an expert.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you have any interesting boot camp stories?
One of the funniest ones, because we had to fold everything into like a fucking 6-inch square, and when you're in basic training, Some guys were good at underwear. Some guys were good at the white tee. Some guys were good at socks. Take your picks, shine 'em boots, and what have you. Well, I remember this one guy. He was from Mississippi, real laid back dude. He was good at, I think, underwear maybe or something like that. And we had this kid. His last name was Hardy. I'll never forget the kid's last name. Kind of like a private pile ish, just not all there. Well, they came through and did a raid, right? Threw everything up, a tornado, whatever you want to call it. And this Hardy kid got grilled about his fucking underwear. So he went over to Mississippi, and he's like starting to flip out on the dude. And he's like, whoa, we all failed. It wasn't just you. Like, this kid took it personal. He pulls out of his pocket, he pulls out his fucking toenail clippers, and he pulls that little file thing out. And he's like, I'm going to fucking stab you in the neck. And he went to lunge at fucking Mississippi. Now, this dude was probably he was as tall as me. So he's probably about 6'4", a little stockier than me at the time. And this Hardy guy was like maybe 5'5", 5'6". I mean, and a rail, right? And he's going to attack this dude with his fucking toenail clippers. Well, long story short, this kid ended up getting recycled. I saw him later at tech school one morning in the chow line. I'm like, hey, Hardy, how are you? And dude, he had the fucking pile 1,000-yard stare. I even sat with him. I was going to be nice, because he was my rack mate until he got recycled. And he wouldn't talk. He just stared at me. I'm just like, dude, this guy's gonna fucking kill somebody.
That's kind of the point on two fronts, right? On
Yeah.
one front, yeah, I mean the ultimate goal of the military, as we were instructed, the first week I got in there, is we kill people when we break their shit. That is the ultimate intent of the military, and don't mistake it for anything other than that. So that guy was on one of those tracks that might help somebody out. But the other aspect too is that those, in my opinion, that was like my first glimpse of firsthand mind control, because I saw the exact same thing. I remember distinctly that everything was clean, about as clean as you could possibly imagine it to be. Like we're talking the bathroom in wherever the flights were at in boot camp, and the TIs come in there, and one of them had like Hershey chocolate syrup or so. It was like something or it might even just been soap or something. But they go in the bathroom, and they just spray it everywhere, ceiling, walls, stalls, everything you can imagine. And he walks out, and he's like, I'm gonna be back in 15 minutes. That room better be the cleanest I've ever seen it, or you're all gonna be, eating this or that. And he walks out, and as soon as he walked out, I could just see like it was I don't know, man. There was like bugs that would like swarm to one corner and swarm to one corner, and there was some that just ran right into the bathroom. They just start scrubbing. They just like get right. They don't even think about it. They're just like at work. There's some guys that are pacing. They're flipping out. They're getting into fights with each other because it's like, what? We can't do this. Like, you're the one that used the bathroom last. And just seeing that unravel within like 10 seconds. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is part of it. Like, this is part of the training. They're trying to figure out who are the dudes that go and scrub and who are the dudes that do this. And that's how they decide maybe who gets. I don't know if this is all true. I did talk with a lot of TIs after, I got into the regular service, but that was like a defining point. And you're kind of describing the exact same. That is like one of the very first tests that they put you through, and it's exactly so they can find that dude that's going to take out his freaking toenail clipper and go ham on someone. And it's interesting that he didn't go home. He just got held back a little bit, and that's was also very true. There was a lot of people that wanted to get out, and it wasn't just like, oh, you want to get out? Oh, here you go. Like, here's your pass. We'll put you back on the bus. They would send you to like a medical wing with all of the self-harmers and all of the like really intense people, right? And that's where they would send you, and then be like, do you want to spend another 6 months here, or do you want to go back to your training and get through it? And if just once you get through training, it gets better, bud. It's only another 6 weeks, another 8 weeks. Right. So anyways, I feel like you've heard some of these same things.
Oh, absolutely. And I've said it even on my show. It might even been on Cunt, or, even with a guest, but basic training, no matter what branch, if you think MK Ultra mind control stopped, no, it's still going on in every single branch of basic training. I don't care what branch you are. They're breaking you down mentally and physically so they can one day just look at you and be like, pick this up, put it over there, pick that gun up, shoot it at that person, do this, do that, do this. And you just say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's simple.
If you want to get far, that's what you do.
Yeah.
That was a very key defining moment. Yeah, if anyone can get into the military, if you just want to make life easy, it's all you do. Just they jump, say how high. It's not really a cliche if that is literally the formula. And me too, the MK Ultra aspect of boot camp, it was formulaic, and it was so efficient and so effective and so elegant in its
It was a
execution.
well-oiled machine.
Correct. And at this point, I mean, this is in 2001, so I had the luck of joining in August of 2001. There was something that happened in September that year. I can't remember what it was. But like and by then they've had 50 plus years, 60 years to kind of refine this whole process, and it shows, man. It really does show, and in a really sick way. I feel proud to be an American, where at least I know, I'm not going to sing the whole song, but I feel proud that like I got to go through the latest and greatest that MK Ultra training had to offer, perhaps of any country at this point. I don't know, maybe Germany, but I feel like if you want to have the full government sponsored like the real like MRE, not the bull crap that you get at Sam's Club. If you want the real experience, what better way and what better country to experience it in than the US of A?
No, absolutely. And I don't know about you. There are some things that I still do to this day that I can't shake. I still step off with my left foot. I still tuck my laces into my shoes, whether it's sneakers, boots, whatever I'm wearing. I have to have black socks. I usually always wear a black t-shirt. It's very rare that, I mean, this one has print on it, but it's black, got to have the black. I can still keep my hair cut short. Facial hair, you couldn't grow when I was in, but just, I don't know, a lot of small things. Now, there are things that I was like, I ain't ever fucking doing that again. And one of them was fucking making a bed. I said, no more. I'll throw the covers up, but I ain't fucking making this motherfucker.
So, but if you've got company, if your parents are coming over, whoever, and you want them are you doing hospital corners? Are you going all out, or are you just making? No,
I don't. Yeah, I'll make it and make it look nice, but I'll do a hospital corner if I want to show off. You know what I mean? And be like, yeah, look at this, because I know I can still do it. That's just something that it's like riding a bike. You'll never forget how to make that. And
so you're not bouncing quarters off bedspreads anymore?
No, not at all.
How about the sock? How about socks and underpants? And are you getting wrinkle free? Are you doing sharp corners?
No, my socks.
Are you
don't
even wearing
underpants
anymore?
It all depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes
depends.
I don't.
Okay, that's crazy. How old are you, bro? 50, 60?
I'm about 69 years old, so I get that incontinence now and again. Okay. No, but like, I don't fold my socks. Like, I don't even bunch them together and roll them. They all go in one drawer. Underwear go in one drawer. My t-shirts. Now, granted, I got to give my wife more credit on this, because she folds and puts away most of the laundry. So my shirts are folded to a civilian standard, and I'm happy with that, because if I was to do it, they would just get thrown in a fucking drawer or put on a hanger. Take your pick, whichever's easier. But I don't know, just certain things like that I refuse to do, and then there's ones that I just can't drop.
And if anyone's just joining, we're just getting into the thrilling aspects of how Ghost folds his laundry and puts it away. It's been riveting. So thanks again for. No, I'm just kidding. We're not even halfway in here.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, are we live?
What other crazy boot camp? Was there any fights? Did you see anyone like absolutely freak out? Was that the main one? Was it just the dude with the toenail clippers?
That was the main big fight that occurred, and that was kind of towards the end of boot camp. When you're wrapping up for your some of your final inspections, and they're last couple weeks or whatever. There was this one time, this one kid, he did not shower for the first 4 weeks of boot camp, and he fucking reeked.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. And it was like a Saturday, because after you get so far, the TIs kind of leave you alone for most of the day Saturday, unless it's PT or not even necessarily take you to chow. You ended up doing that on your own or whatever. So a group of the guys had enough of it, chased him down. He was running down the flight of steps, and he didn't make it very far, and he got drugged and thrown in the showers, and they turned it on. They're like, "You're gonna fucking shower." They turned their backs if you want your fucking privacy, but you're fucking showering because you fucking stink.
I mean, that sounds pretty tame and mild, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised
Yeah.
it would have made it 4 weeks. I remember there was just one aspect of training where we had to be like outside in tents or whatever for like a week. We were pretending to be outdoorsmen, and if anyone went more than 2 days, one of two things would happen. One, you would get a little party in the middle of the night where you'd be encouraged very strongly to shower next time, or people would just legit tattle. Like this was like a very real aspect. Someone would just go and tell the superior, and the superior would come and scream at someone and make embarrass you in front of everybody and call you out and be like, go wash your ass, and lots of creative insults that I really do wish, because even if you're keeping a level-headed mind and you're through this training, there's just so much crap going on and so many things you're forced to remember. You got to remember like all these stupid names that are in like your whole rank of hierarchy and like who the base commander is, all this crap.
Military codes.
Oh, like, dude, there's so much stupid crap that you never even use even one time ever again outside of that one thing, and it's just so that someone can come up to you at any point and be like, recite this thing. But part of that, I really do believe, isn't just like keeping your mind constantly occupied so that you can slip in commands and you don't have a chance to think about it, but like I can't remember any of those great one-liners. So it's like I don't know, maybe unless you've got a memory like a freaking metal trap, I only remember like 1% of all the amazing things that I heard drill sergeants come up with. And I can't even, they were like good jokes. Like, even if you know what they said and you can't deliver it the same way that a TI can deliver it, it just kind of falls flat. So I won't try and recreate any of the really good ones. But man, there are some gems that I will never forget.
Yeah, to be honest with you, because I joined in '96, so it's been a few more years. I was in 5 years before you were. So I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of them. I remember the one TI. He sounded like Kermit the Frog. And back when I was in basic training, I could do his voice. Like he'd always be like, "What the piss is going on around here?" And he sounded like fucking Gomer Pyle, right? And you have your amnesty hour towards the end of at the last night or whatever, and everybody was like, "Yo, do you?" I forget the guy's name. He's like, "Do TI so and so's name or voice?" And
you didn't call him TI Kermit? You didn't just call him Kermit?
No, because it was a mix between Kermit and Gomer Pyle. So and I would always fuck with people like on the weekends because the female flight was below us. So you kind of meet in the stairwell, hoping to, you're not going to get lucky, but you're fucking horny. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, the fucking women. But
volunteer for laundry if you want to up your chances. Just volunteer for laundry. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. So I would go out in the stairwell and I would be like, "What the piss is going on here? I'm coming up," and everybody fucking scatter like cockroaches, and me and a few others sitting there fucking laughing. Well, I did it for him, but the condition is I had to go up and pretend he was a basic training airman, and I had to be him, grilling him, and I did it, but at the same time, I didn't do it to the full potential because I was still fucking scared. It's a TI, you know what I mean? So I was like, "Am I getting set up here?" So I didn't really like go full force like he did. But he laughed, he chuckled a little bit, and it was all good fun. But some of the one-liner, I can't even fucking remember them, to be honest with you.
The only one that I'm gonna already butcher, but there was this guy that just couldn't figure it out. It was the dumbest things. Just like if everyone shut up, everyone would be like shh. And they'd all sit down, the TI would come in. He'd be like the one dude that like keeps telling the story in the back of the room, even though clearly everyone has shut up and just never got it. And the line was something of like, I'm like, your head is so far up your ass, you're gonna need a glass belly button to see out, or I'm gonna stick your head so far up your ass, you're gonna need a glass belly button to see your way out. But he had this like thick Southern drawl, the way that he said it, and it felt like something that he maybe like had said hundreds of times before. But it's the first time that I ever had such a visual image, and I can still see this guy's head inside of his stomach, like peering out of a little glass belly button out at like the rest of the
His
world.
little third eye.
Yeah, dude, it was. I loved it. I really did, and there was so much of it. So do you have any tips for anyone that's about to join the military or about to get into boot camp? Any ways to make it easier, shortcuts, workarounds?
Man, teamwork, and just say yes, yes, and yes.
What do you
And,
mean by
and
teamwork? That kind of sounds like BS synergy crap.
always teamwork, as in like how we always you had the one dude that was really good at shirts, some guy was really good at underwear, you were good at fucking putting a mirror polish on a pair of boots. That kind of teamwork,
Yeah.
exploit each other's services and make it a well-oiled machine. And if you're asked to do something, you say okay, jump, how high, yeah, and just make it happen. The more you lay undercover and just fucking help your fellow teammate out and work together like that, it's going to be fucking easy. But the moment you start fucking bucking the system, you're bucking it for everybody, and then you're going to make enemies, and you don't want that.
That's one of the better examples too of even though it just happens at boot camp, you can extrapolate to the rest of the service. But there's the one guy that figures out he's good at shirts. And by the way, the trick, at least in our flight, was that you would fill your canteen up with hot water, or you would take the MRE packet and you would use that to like heat up your canteen, and then use the canteen as like an iron. And that's the way you could get those like really crisp corners and there was all kinds of cool little tips on that.
They didn't let you have irons?
Nope, we were not allowed to have irons in 2001. I guess somebody ruined that for everyone.
Damn, maybe somebody fucking flipped out and used it as a weapon. Because, yeah, that was one of the things that you always want. Because they'd come around and do an inspection, they'd pull your iron out, and they'd always turn it upside down. And if there was just even the slightest resemblance of water left in that reservoir, it was a fail. You know what I mean? Because
Just like
they
the
knew
moisture in the room condenses on it
Yeah.
as he's
It's like,
grabbing it. Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck. But yeah, because we'd use the iron, we get it all hot, and tweezers, and we'd pull each piece of the line or whatever, the t-shirt out, get it all perfect, and then put that fucking iron on there, and just keep doing that and doing that and doing that. And you always had the ones that you never used. They always stayed inspection ready, display ready.
Yeah.
You only ever wore like maybe, I think they issued you maybe 5 shirts. You probably only ever wore 3.
Right. And that's if you're playing it like loose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most people were doing like 1 or 2. And then you got Stinky Pete over there, and it's like a crapshoot. Maybe just 1.
Yeah.
And but he's not even keeping his other shirts clean anyways, so it's for a completely different reason.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know if I got the only tip that I would offer that I was told not to do by my recruiter. I did realize at a certain point. Here's a great tip: whatever your recruiter is saying, whatever he's actively saying, like not the stuff that gets implied, but the things that he's actually saying, assume all of that is the exact opposite of what they are saying. So if it's like you're gonna get the certification, you're not gonna get that certificate. Like guaranteed, you will not get that certification. If they're talking about a bonus, you're guaranteed you're not gonna get that bonus. You might get one kind of one. That's a whole other game. So if you're joining for any reason other than getting out of town with no other real options around, and you don't have a scholarship or whatever, or if you're just a freaking dumb legacy bumpkin like Ghost was here,
Yeah.
I can see that one. Like that one actually makes logical sense to me, but the other ones don't. So yeah. That's my point. But the other thing that he told me was don't volunteer for anything. And I remember being in there on that first day or two, and the TI comes in and he was like, "Who here is really religious?" And I remember in the split second, I was just thinking, "There's no way this could be bad. There's not a possible way that if I said I'm the most religious person in this room, that could come out bad for me. Like I just so my hand just like shot up, and it was the best decision I ever freaking made, because instead of going to kitchen duty or doing KP, I got to go to the chaplain. I got to double down on lunch. I would have freaking like Pizza Hut at the chaplain's office, and then I would go back if I ran fast enough and get to have lunch at the base. We got to
Didn't
watch
you dip
freaking
into the-
TV on Saturdays and Sundays. I got to drink wine.
I was
got
going
to
to say,
drink
didn't
wine,
you?
dude.
Yeah, you got to fucking dip into the wine.
Cause it was Catholic service. I was a great, raised Roman Catholic, like any good American is. Everyone else is worshiping Satan, and because we literally change, wine into Jesus's blood. You're not allowed to pour Jesus's blood down drains. So the
Right.
only option is you got to drink it, and I'm not kidding. So,
I
I mean, how many other people that went through the military can say that they for sure were going to be getting drunk on a Sunday afternoon and eating Pizza Hut during boot camp? I feel like I'm in a very small club of a
you
handful.
are, because you're the only person I've ever heard say that.
I'm dropping these gems, dude. Anyone that's listening to this, I know we're not huge yet, but I am dropping the ultimate gem here for anyone entering boot camp. Sign up, be the Catholic chaplain.
I have one that kind of, if you're not going to go the chaplain route, but you want to go to church on a Sunday because you get a little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah.
Claim you're Southern Baptist. Okay. Now, most guys would, because we'd bounce around to different churches. You wanted to go there so you could sneak a nap in, usually because you were tired, right? Well, we're like, let's try the Southern Baptist, No offense. I was probably one of 4 white dudes in there. Okay. And we're talking the Southern Baptist. They're standing, they're singing, they're having a great time. Majority black. Well, you soon realize I ain't fucking taking a nap in here because everybody's standing up, fucking singing and da 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 da. But what paid off, even though you didn't get your nap, you got juice, you got, I think, Sprite or 7-Up or something, and cookies out the ass when church was over. And you were like, fuck, I haven't had this shit since I got here. Fucking cookies? You're like the fucking cookie monster. You're like, blah, 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 you're just fucking picking out on cookies and punch and soda. So we all became Southern Baptists for a little bit so we can get the punch and the cookies.
So there is, I saw someone do this, and I wish I knew what the trick was. I got to go to like 3 or 4 services every Sunday, so I was already like triple dipping. Like no one was at my level when it came to like sliding around and avoiding stuff and getting drunk and eating pizza. And but the Protestant was also really good because, and again, growing up Catholic, I hadn't been to any other services really. Maybe a handful here and there if I was like staying with a friend. But this was the first time that I like actually had to go to a bunch of different ones. And the Protestant one, within 15 minutes, they were playing clips from like Forrest Gump. And I'm like, you guys are watching movies in church? And again, they gave out like Welch's grape juice, and they gave you like little saltine crackers. And I just remember like, dude, what have I been missing out my entire life? I've been going to Catholic mass, and you like not a lot of talk, and you got to stand, you got to kneel, and like it's boring as hell. You can't fidget. And then meanwhile, like literally on the other side of this wall, they're watching Forrest Gump and they're drinking Welch's grape juice in the middle of the freaking morning. I don't know. It was eye opening. I loved it.
Yeah, very, very. There's a lot of ways to worship Jesus.
So I don't know. And again, I got to do the grape juice and the crackers and the wine. So why not?
Right.
And that started early. Catholic mass starts early. I don't know how it is for other religions, but they're like 4 a.m.
I grew up
like, you should already be praying.
So yeah, I remember. And then you did the whole midnight mass on Christmas and this and that. And dude, I freaking hated going to Catholic church. Like you said, you stand, you sit, you kneel, you stand, you sit, you kneel, you stand, then you stand and you say, you shake someone's hand. Oh,
I hated
God bless
that
you,
the
or whatever.
most. Oh, I hated that part the most, man. And it always caught me by surprise too, because I was a complete rube, and it was always like, now, look to your left and look to your right, and the people in front of you, and just say hi to each other. And it was like, oh God, I don't like any of these people. They're all strangers.
Hi.
and honestly, thinking back, I mean, statistically, as a kid in a Catholic mass, if you were to look around in all directions, there's probably a predator among someone that met your glance.
Easily.
So
Easily.
That might be part of it. Like you're not allowed to talk. You're forced to touch other people. They give you wine
Yeah.
underage. There's a lot of stuff happening there.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I mean, not just the, worshiping human sacrifice and cannibalism. You have the shut up and don't say nothing. We're going to give you some liquor, and you're going to be surrounded by a lot of adults that look down at you and wondering how they're going to part your hair down the middle.
Well, and the subservience aspect. There weren't many altar girls in any church that I ever remember growing up in.
Are there allowed to be altar girls?
I mean, I assume in 2023, yeah.
Yeah, maybe now.
Altar
back then, no. Yeah, back then, no. It was all boys.
As it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a reputation to uphold here, guys. What are you going to build this legacy for thousands of years and then just abandon it in 2020 because of Harvey Weinstein? That seems silly.
Right. Have you seen the lips on little Billy? You thought little Johnny's lips were perky and puffy. Wow, little Billy. Holy shit. And the ass? Man.
You know what's crazy is that this is pre-recorded and I can already see my subscriber count going down in real time, just in like a weird precog Minority Report way. So I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm good at that. I do that a lot when I speak out against the Mormons on cunt.
What's the beef with the Mormons, man? Because another fun military fact, but I clashed with Mormons in the military for the first time. I didn't realize, I guess, growing up Roman Catholic, that not everyone had like maybe a same pessimism and kind of like this like seething underbelly of just absolute distrust and maybe not believing in faith at all. But I ran into some Mormons and whoa, I realized that you can't joke at all about some things in the presence of really devout Mormons. Like it's a really big deal. That led to maybe some letters of reprimand. I won't get too much into detail, but it was an interesting experience. So I don't have actually any beef, and if anything, I might have an affinity to Mormonism because of how much they hijacked from Freemasonry. It's kind of cool. I think it's like
I was just actually going to say that you're more closely.
They're the hip hop samplers of the freaking religious world, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When I was a little boy, I was originally born in Wyoming and grew up till I was about 10 in Idaho, the southern southeast corner of Idaho. So we weren't far from Salt Lake City. My aunt actually lived in Salt Lake City. I seen the Mormon tabernacle around Christmas time. Beautiful. I mean, as a little kid, I mean, it looked like the most beautiful. You think Disneyland or Disney World's castle looks cool? You should see this motherfucker lit up for Christmas. You're like, whoa.
Is that what they call it in the Mormon? Do they call it the motherfucker in Mormon religion?
Yeah. They abandoned calling it the tabernacle. They just went with the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they saw Pulp Fiction and really liked the bad motherfucker reference, and they're like, well, we don't want to be bad. We're just going to be the motherfucker.
So I'm hearing all good so far. Where does the beef come in? It's the old Wendy's commercial now.
So the beef was, I was raised Catholic at the time, so everyone I went to school with and everybody in that community, 99% majority Mormon, okay, heavily influenced out there, Salt Lake City, Brigham Young, Joseph Smith, all that. Well, I was friends with one kid in my second grade, my second grade class. He was a Mexican, okay? His first name was Tony. I don't remember his last name, but Tony and I would play together out at recess. Okay. His parents, I think, might have been migrant workers or whatever, or actually settled there and what have you. But me and Tony hit it off great because he's like, I'm Catholic, you're Catholic, we're not Mormons, and these guys are kind of weird, right? Well, one day we're running around on the playground and I'm yelling and screaming because the other kids are chasing us. I think we were playing tag or some shit. And I'm out there yelling at the top of my lungs, the Mormons are coming. The Mormons are coming. The Mormons are going to get us. The Mormons are going to get us. Hurry, run, hide. Yeah. And Tony's doing the same thing in kind of broken English. And didn't think anything was bad till I got home. Now, I got punished, but not bad because I learned it from my mom. Because we had a quarter-mile lane on this farm that we lived on, and you could always see the door knockers driving up the lane, and she'd always look at, oh, the Mormons are coming. The Mormons are coming. They're here comes the Mormons.
So you
They're
picked it up
coming to
from
get
mom.
us. Yeah. So I like the old 80s commercial. I learned it by watching you. Yeah. So long story short, I got in trouble kind of at school. They kind of wanted more discipline at home, but I don't know. The whole Mormon religion's really, really weird, but it's crazily and heavily influenced by Masons. And that's kind of why I told Heidi to get in contact with you, who she was super nervous to even remotely reach out to you, which was,
Oh, I'm gonna
like,
kill her.
you should sacrifice her.
Yeah,
And
she's gonna. I'll be the last person she talks to. I don't care if this is recorded and that's evidence.
did I just see your eyes turn red?
That was just my second set of eyelids, actually.
Okay, right. I always forget that you're a reptilian, but we did an episode on the Mormon Temple of Doom is what I called it, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it was just disguised and changed from Masons to Mormon to hide something or whatever. But I mean, when you dive into the history of the religion, they're fucking retarded. They're just plain retarded. It's like two Down syndrome people got together and said, "They make me London. We got Mormon." Okay.
So we're just dropping hard R's and doing the full impersonations and everything. This is great.
Yeah.
So
well, hey, I've had you. I've had you, and I've had you and Nate on at the same time, and when you guys were on my
don't
show,
necessarily ascribe things that Nate says to me. Don't necessarily.
That's true. But within first 5 minutes, off the fucking rails. Okay, well, now we know where the show's going. I at least waited until 40 minutes in.
Nate is always in the driver's seat, and I'm always in the passenger seat. But I never tell him where to drive. But sometimes I might tell him to pump the gas. I never really say pump the brakes. So I guess I'm just as accountable in that regard. I don't know. I mean, in a court of law, if I'm in the passenger seat the entire time and I'm egging everybody on, but I don't actually go into the bank and I don't actually shoot anybody, am I responsible? I'm sure they get me on something, but I feel like I could turn state's witness against you guys very easily.
True. Yeah, true. I mean, they probably first try to get you as a co-conspirator or something like that because you guilty by association. But there's loopholes. There's loopholes with everything. That's everything.
That's the true American way. I mean, if finding loopholes feels, I'm sure it's been ascribed to other cultures and history, but Americans and loopholes, I think, are like the new wave. This is like the new way to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Which reminds me, I still have to listen back to your guys' interview with Tony Merkel.
Yeah, apparently I might have. I don't know. I heard it maybe crossed the line, but
that's what I was
only
told.
heard this secondhand. I had no. Yeah.
Good on you. Hey.
What was the line? Do you know what the line was?
I don't know.
Okay.
All I was told was you kept challenging him on his religious beliefs and coming at him so how do you come about it? I don't even know, because Nate kind of described it to me or no, it wasn't Nate. It was a coworker. He's like, have you listened to the new at the time, the newest episode of Reality Stars? I'm like, no, why? Had your buddy on, Tony Merkel. I'm like, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, you should have heard Paranoid American.
He was getting grilled, bro.
He was getting grilled by Paranoid American. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to check that out. And I still haven't checked it out, but and it might not have been all that bad.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's definitely not the intent whatsoever. I love Tony Merkel. I love his spiritualism. I love his relationship with his creator. Everything he does is amazing. And the fact that he's turned a business out of this niche, which I think deserves way more focus than, let's say, the Real Housewives, right? If the Real Housewives can exist out there, then so can freaking Merkel Media and everything that he puts out, and it should all be just as or more successful than the Housewives. Full stop. I don't even care where you're at on any of the religious, political, cryptid debate. None of that. It's more important than Full Housewives. Full stop. That said, I again, growing up as a freaking Catholic, dude, I remember going home from Sunday school and thinking, because I was told in no uncertain terms that everybody that wasn't Catholic and worshiping the way we were, they were like, unfortunately, they're all going to hell. And I would talk about that with people and be like, how do you feel that like you and your family are going to burn in hell for all eternity because you don't go to the church that I go to? Like, this blows my mind. Like, what are you guys not getting? Like, you want to burn in hell? And that also led to some angry calls and unpleasant, situations. And it's like, well, that's not really what you say to other people. And then it was like, well, isn't that what we believe? That's what I'm being told. And it's like, well, yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah. But it's not nice to, remind other people that they're going, and they might not believe in it. And I don't know. And then I remember asking questions about in the Sunday school, like, well, if you burn for eternity, like after the first month, like, don't you just kind of get used? Like, it sucks, but doesn't it just like stay the same suck? And that was, again, like, I guess I had the mind of an engineer. Like, I want to like pick something apart and take all the screws apart and like, what does that piece do? Okay, what does that piece do? What happens if I reverse the polarity of that piece? What if I add another resistor over here? Like, does that affect it? And I don't know. I did that with religion, and I might do that in interviews. And I'm absolutely never trying to challenge somebody's beliefs, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, how does that, like, when you add electricity to this capacitor, how does that diode over there not just like explode? And then sometimes that's where my mind goes, and I get lost in that line of questioning. So yeah.
Apparently, free thinking is frowned upon in this facility.
Yeah. So where are you at on God? How can I pick apart your faith?
I don't know. I believe in a creator. I
That's
don't
dumb.
buy into.
Explain yourself.
I believe that we're a very complex piece of meat suit machine in a sense.
You're a poet, sir.
I'm trying. Not a scholar, maybe a poet. Whether the creator is what people call God, or could be alien races or the Anunnaki, whatever. Something had to have, or we don't exist out of just absolute nothing. Okay. Modern religion, that's where I have a problem. That's where my biggest problem comes in, is modern religion, whether it's Catholic, Christianity, evangelical, Mormon, whatever. It was all man-made for control. And when you break it down and you start putting the piece, especially with Catholicism and then the branches of Christianity coming off that, it's just cherry-picked different societies at the time, their beliefs, and just reworded and kind of put in a different kind of way so you can still celebrate your Christmas, Easter, and all these pagan holidays, but just call them something different, and we'll just make some story up. And it's weird how most of society's gods, even Egyptian gods back in the day before, Jesus came, they're all born on December 25th. So I question a lot of it. I will never tell anybody, look, if going to church and you worshiping Jesus and God, as you call it, makes you a better person, makes you happy, by all means, go do it. I don't think I need to. I used to be a very devout Christian, was saved, baptized in the Susquehanna River in the middle of January. I went hardcore. I just have more questions than I get answers. But at the end of the day, I do believe something created us. I don't know what. And guess what? Your most religious person out there, he could be the Pope himself. He doesn't even, at the end of the day, knows who created us and knows where we're going when we're dead. Period.
I mean, I agree with you very much on the organized religion aspect, and I also agree with you that Catholicism is probably the closest to truth, and that anyone that's not pretty much a devout Catholic is ultimately leading themselves on a path of hellfire and gnashing and teeth of brimstone. It's the easiest thing that you could do today for the rest of your life is convert to Catholicism and save the soul of you and anyone else that you can convert to Catholicism. You got to eat the body, you got to drink the blood, and if you're not doing those things, then you don't get accepted into the gate. I'm surprised that we're both in complete unison on this very specific topic because, like you said, the splintering of all of these religions and people nitpicking, just go to what is laid out for you guys. Like, they went through all this trouble. They've put like gold filigrees on the pages. They've got fancy chairs. They've got like a whole city. There's literally what other, I guess Salt Lake City, but Salt Lake City is no Vatican, my friend. They might have the tabernacle,
No.
but they do not have the fancy little elf shoes and the freaking chairs and I mean, maybe if you're into the Tartarian, the old world history, but they don't have the legacy and they don't have the pedigree. There's no other Christian religion on this planet that has the freaking pedigree and the fancy shoes and hats that Catholicism has. Mormonism, maybe in the back of my mind, that might be why I have an affinity, because they do have fancy underpants, and
They're a second, a very close second, maybe 1A and 1B when it comes to Catholicism or even Judaism. Because I forget where I heard it. There's more Mormons on this planet now than there are Jewish people that practice the Jewish faith.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and link the source that Ghost
I
has
don't
for that
remember the
claim.
source.
We'll link that in the comments below. I'm sure you'll send it to me after this.
MormonReligion.com.
And honestly, we're just spitballing here, playing jazz a little bit, but for as fancy as Catholics are, there's no fancy pants. In fact, there's almost no pants in the Catholic. The more I think about it, I don't think pants are part of the dress code in any form for men or women, right? Even the kids, everyone's wearing easy access dresses all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting. But Mormons have pants. Protestants have pants. Almost every other Lutherans have pants. They all have. It's only that's so weird. It's such a weird coincidence that I don't know. Anyways, so you give like the typical sort of like goober Gnostic, non-committal. Are you agnostic?
I don't know. I don't. Some days maybe, and then some days no.
So are you fluctuating between agnostic and atheist, or agnostic and more something less agnostic?
I can't go full on atheist, and that's no offense to you. It's just my brain just doesn't work in a capacity that doesn't think that there's nothing. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to wrap my head around that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I could, the Arabic concept of zero was very hard for simple-minded, like the plebs to really truly grasp until there was, I don't know, more practical ways to demonstrate it. So some of us are slower than others.
Right. And
you understand the concept of zero, right? Have you ever?
Well, the concept of zero is absolute nothing.
Okay. I guess you're not there yet.
Maybe not.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I just always assumed the concept of zero would be absolute nothing. If you have absolutely nothing, there's a black hole or a void. There's nothing. Like, I don't know. You get cast into the nothing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's very.
So who are you at your most religious? What are you seeing? The bearded Borgia. Do you have a Borgia Jesus in mind? What is it, Caesar Borgia? You know what I'm talking about?
No. Yeah, no, I'm
Do you have a sky daddy?
A what?
Do you have a sky daddy?
I thought you said, do I have a cry daddy? I'm like, well,
should
I get one?
I mean, you said Catholic, so it could be your cry daddy. But yeah,
Right.
sky. And I mean, in a slightly just way, but also, is there like a dude that more or less has
Used to.
masculine energy and maybe is a symmetrical form, and we were created? Or is it way more of just like a freaking bundle of energy that you're not going to define further than that because you're boring?
Well, thanks. You're boring too. No, I just, okay. When I was younger, I bought into the whole typical white Jesus, okay, which we know is not who Jesus was. Now I'm also going to go off on a little tangent. That wasn't his fucking name either. Okay. If you want to go by true scripture, his name was Yeshua. Okay. Now that we're just going by basics here. Now, that's where I have a hard time. I I never had a mental picture of who he might have been, even though you see all these pictures, especially around Christmas time, of different Jesus, black Jesuses, Arab Jesuses, take your pick. They're all out there. I never had that depiction like ever in my mind. And I don't know why. I just never did. But after, reading the Bible and then questioning a lot of stuff, was that just a metaphor? Is Jesus just a metaphor? And that's kind of where I'm at today. I think his name is more of a metaphor of just live your life, be good, be a nice person, help your neighbor, love your neighbor, don't be a dick. And I think that was like the ultimate message that was trying to be portrayed during those times, because everybody's like, oh, open the Bible and read it. If you open the Bible and read it and you apply it to the time that it was written, it makes 100% sense. You apply it now, there's a lot of reaching and stretching that goes on. So I don't know. I probably didn't answer your question, but I don't have that. It's kind of like I can picture Santa Claus, what I'm told Santa Claus looks like in my mind, but Jesus, no, never did. Or God. It's just like it would have been like an entity, I guess. It's a person. I don't know. I just never had the full mental picture in my mind.
So just utter and complete blasphemy. Got it. I mean, and honestly, that's probably the worst example of a good Catholic upbringing I can think of, because if there's one thing that Catholics are good at, it is like giving you trading cards of Jesus.
I never said I had a
here's what Jesus Catholic looks upbringing. Like, and here's what Mary looks like, and all the saints, dude. Every single burial or funeral that I went to, you always got the trading card. My mom was of, like, Catholic the patron
because she was an alcoholic and a drug user. Okay.
So it was the workaround. It was like, I can be a scumbag as long as I want, but if I'm Catholic and I say sorry on my deathbed,
right, and I go to confession, that's the extent of Catholicism that I grew up with. Right, I wasn't like the whole devout. I went to church because my mom took me, but it was never. Never that. You know what I mean? It was. I never went to. Like, even when I did go to Sunday, like, I didn't pay attention. To me, it was like school. I fucking hated it. I'm not going to memorize this and that and know my Hail Marys and my rosary bead. To me, that was all like, I can't know. I want to go play. Okay.
Yeah.
I got G.I. Joes waiting at
home.
I
was going to say, I got Ninja Turtles waiting on me right now, dude.
Yeah.
And if I was in the Protestant church right now, I could be playing with my Ninja Turtles right now. But in Catholic Mass, guess what? There are no action figures allowed. So what can the Catholics do to improve?
A lot.
What would be the number one thing? Stop trying to take over the world.
No, that was Pinky in the Brain thing. I don't know. Stop fucking boys. Stop fucking little children.
Okay.
There's a start.
Bad timing. I just wanted to do a shout out to St. Jude's and the fact that we are also sponsored by the Catholic Church. That was my bad. I probably should have announced the sponsors before I solicit opinions on said sponsors. Are you patriotic? That sounds like a resounding yes. Your mic cut out, but he was like he bent down and he grabbed an American flag.
You didn't even hear the music? You didn't hear Lee Greenwood playing? No, I am. I'm patriotic because, not because of my government. Patriotic because what I was told America stood for and what I was told it was founded on. You know what I mean? Land of opportunity, you have the ultimate freedoms. We're the last beacon of hope for everybody. You get older, you go through the military, 9/11 happens, you get real patriotic again, and then, I don't know, things happen, and now you look at where we are today, and as a human, you should always try and question everything, learn new things, and what have you. So your opinions are going to change. Am I the patriot that I was when I joined the military versus today? No. Am I the patriot that I was when 9/11 happened? No. Am I a patriot? Yes. I love this country. I love good American people. I don't care what color skin they are, but I don't like my government. Our government is not representation of what America should be or what a patriot wants it to be. So, yeah, I love my country. Now, do I love my heritage where I came from? Yes, equally so. But I don't sit there and fucking wave flags and banners for either or. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, all right. I have Scottish lineage, great, cool. I'm American. I got American blood running through my. No, I just have human blood. At the end of the day, it's just human blood. I was born in America. Cool. I have a better success rate or survival rate than somebody that was born in a third world country. You know what I mean?
And that's your American right.
It's my American right. However, you take a third world person, they're going to be just as proud as their country, just because they're happy to get maybe a bowl of food a day. To them, that's life. So it's all in how you embrace this. Yeah, it's all in how you embrace your own suck. I could be doom, gloom, and depressed about the way America is. I don't let myself get that far. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I can cover it. I can talk about it. At the end of the day, I don't really see it affecting me personally, other than, okay, I'm paying a little bit more for a lot of shit that I shouldn't. But I don't see these protesters. I don't see the hate. I live in a small little bumpkin town in central Pennsylvania where I walk out and I say hi to my neighbors. We help each other, whatever. So I don't know. I am patriotic, but I'm not Ruby Ridge patriotic as much anymore. I love my guns. I love my guns.
The spectrum.
Yeah, I love my guns, and I love to be able to own them and hunt or protect my family or my property. But at the end of the day, I'm just another guy living in America, going to work in the 9 to 5, coming home, spending a little time, getting up and going back into the slave system that we call the American dream.
What's the most positive impact you personally have provided the rest of this country during your military service?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because it was the night I got invited to the White House, and I didn't even know the lady's name, but I found myself underneath a desk with this girl named Monica, and we had such a great time. It was the best cigar I've ever smoked in my life. Come to find out, I couldn't figure out why there was no smoke coming out. Man, I fucking sucked and drawed on that cigar. And I don't know. I got all this shit all over my face. I don't know.
So like every other veteran that I've talked to, absolutely nothing. You just soaked up tax money and pissed it away.
Thank you for paying your taxes.
So when somebody, that's honestly, when somebody says thank you for your service, what goes through your mind?
I hate it, to be honest with you.
You hate it when someone says it? Do you
just
say thank you? Or do you say like, fuck you,
Well, no, I don't.
cram it up your ass, buddy?
Yeah, I usually my comeback now, because Curious Animus is where I got that. Thank you for paying your taxes or whatever. Because one of the first times I found out he was on the tavern or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know you were in the military. That's awesome. He's like, yeah, thank you for paying your taxes. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, anytime anybody thanks me for my service, I just say thank you for paying your taxes. So that's become my new way of saying, oh, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for paying your taxes. I've been to like the Hershey Bears. They're the Washington Capitals minor league hockey team, right? Though I've been there with family members, oh, veterans, stand up, yada, yada, yada. We want to recognize you. I sit down. I stay seated. I don't want that fucking recognition.
Very edgy. Very edgy.
It's not an edgy thing. Sorry, I'm nobody special.
You
know what I mean?
Kneeling?
That's just how.
When they play the anthem, do you just kneel out of pure instinct?
I do one step better. I kneel on both knees, bend over, and spread my cheeks.
wait for the Blue Angels to show up.
Yep.
Let's make some Blue Nephilim babies. So I want to continue a little bit of this Q&A. I've got a little segment. I'm just going to ask you I'm just going to mention some topics, and you're going to say 0 to 10 on how much credit you give certain things. Okay,
10 being the best, and 0 being the
10
worst?
being you believe in it the most, and 0 being like it's silly, you don't even entertain it as an option.
Hey, conspiracy buffs, I double dare you to take some PCP, the Paranormal Conspiracy Probe. On your marks, get set, and go!
Satan.
I'd have to say 10, just like I would believe in God. One doesn't exist without the other. Yin and yang.
Lucifer, same thing.
Yeah.
Zeus?
What? Man, this is.
I'm not hearing numbers. I'm hearing a bunch of stuff that's not numbers.
Okay, so Zeus, I'll put 8.
We're not ranking on body type, by the way. I know that this is where you're going. You have to take a step back, put clothes back on the gods as I describe them. Do not sexualize the god. Okay, now let's reapproach this. Little gray aliens. How real are they from 0 to 10?
10.
How about Bigfoot?
10.
How about dinosaurs?
0.
How about dragons?
I'm going to give that one a 5.
Fire-breathing flying dragons. Does that affect your 5?
I'm going to still keep it at 5.
Giants. And I mean giants like the old, 1830s newspaper articles with them, uncovering these huge femurs or whatever the hell they were, and then going them there's giants, like that.
I'll go an 8 on that one.
Do Mormon magical underpants have any magic whatsoever?
0.
Does Freemasonry have any power in 2023?
I'm gonna get. Can I give a number with a reason?
You can give a number and we can talk about the reason later if I feel like it.
All right, 5.
Aleister Crowley summoned an actual demon at some point in his lifetime.
7.
Somebody in history has created an actual homunculus without the use of a female human.
7.
Girls or boys?
Girls are boys or girls or boys?
Girls or boys.
I don't understand.
You don't understand girls or boys?
Well, I understand girls or boys. Are you asking which I like?
Is that what you think I'm asking?
I don't know.
Pass? It's a freaking
girls.
Underhanded softball.
All right, girls.
Interesting. That you're the first person that's picked that. Anyways. What about Santa? Did Santa ever exist in the capacity that we talk about him? Even if it was just like for 20 years until he got chased out of town, was there ever a legitimate red jolly presence guy? Did that ever exist?
8.
When you take psychedelics, you can see the same God as someone praying.
I don't know.
5? Do you have a hunch?
I on a guess, I'll say, yeah, I'll just go right in the middle. 5.
Spilling your seed is an actual sin.
0.
Are there any actual sins? Are there sins that a person? Let me rephrase it. There are sins a person could commit verbally that would affect their afterlife.
0.
Physically, is there things that you can do physically that would affect the afterlife?
I'm gonna go 7 and 8.
All right, let's wrap it up here so I can walk backwards because I kind of want to dive into some of the ones where you were like, I want to explain more. I want to give a 5, but I want to first start conceptually, right? Is it possible to hurt someone more egregiously without physical harm, or is physical harm always the ultimate harm that you could do to somebody? Like, is there any chance that's like a verbal harm or an emotional harm could be worse than any amount of physical harm?
Yes, absolutely. Verbal and emotional harm is way harder to deal with, if that makes any sense, than physical. I get it. You get. I'm going to say it like this. Okay, you get in a fight at school when you're in high school. You get popped in the face. It fucking hurts. Okay, that hurt goes away. You guys might make up and be friends. Now, if that same situation happened where a lot of words were said, a lot of personal things, or just repeated verbal abuse, I think that's a little bit harder to get over. Now, let's take that out of high school and put that into being a kid and living under a parent that does that. If every time I got out of line, I got a spanking from my dad, okay, all right, I knew my spot, got a spanking, it hurt. If you constantly get told you're a piece of shit and you're worthless and you'll never amount to nothing, that's going to stick with you longer through life than that spanking ever did. You're going to look back, oh shit, probably shouldn't touch that hot stove because I remember one time I got my hand smacked really hard. Okay, I learned my lesson, but I don't know.
I think that
I don't know. It's a fine line without getting like super duper personal and going into specific things that even past jobs that I've worked in with juvenile corrections and what have you. The verbal and the emotional way harder to deal with than physical. Now, there's going to be people out there. Well, I'm a woman. He beat me all the time. He beat me all the time. Yes, it is. I'm not saying that it isn't hard too. So let me wrap it up with, when you see a duck on the top of the water, he looks calm. Okay. Underneath the water, his feet are going 1,000 miles a minute. So I can't tell you my pain is more than your pain and your pain is less than my pain, because everybody experiences pain differently. But I will say emotional and mental trauma is probably a lot harder to get over than physical.
I'm spitballing here, but it does seem like it could be more effective, because when you say you learn to not put your hand on the stove because you might get like a spanking or you might feel the stove, but it would probably sink in even harder if the lesson was, if you put your hand on the stove, your dad calls you a scumbag for the rest of your life. Like, that feels like it would really sink in. Like, you wouldn't put your hand on the stove nearly as often. But the reason that I want to go into that little rabbit hole is, you gave a 0 for anything verbal or emotional that could affect the afterlife, but you gave like a 7-ish for physical. So are you implying that the thing that could hurt you the most would not be a qualifier to send somebody to hell? But if you physically abuse somebody, you don't necessarily go to hell.
Well, now that you put it like that, I would have to take my 0 back, but I can't because I already said 0.
Well, you can take it back. There's no rules where you have to get it tattooed yet. That's season 2.
Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, there probably is some verbal or emotional things that you could say that probably could get you into hell if people believe in hell. I'm not saying I do or I don't.
Well, metaphorically, in hell, in that
Yeah,
it's going to affect you
yeah.
negatively in some sort of afterlife.
But how I look at it, you could have a traumatic experience in this life and die, and that might be at the hands of, okay, someone was drinking and driving, hit your car out in front of your house, you were almost home, and now you haunt this house. And now this family that's living there has to deal with your angry ass because you can't figure out where to go. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Where are you at on
Are there
Ghost 0 to 10?
Oh, I 100% believe in them. 10.
Are there bad ghosts and good ghosts, do you think?
I think there are good and bad ghosts, if you want to we'll just quote unquote call them ghosts, because there's good and bad people. You know what I mean? You could have a motherfucker that was the biggest piece of shit, beat the shit out of his whole family, verbally abused them, did heroin every fucking day, and one day just fucking overdosed in the basement. And now he's there and he's fucking angry because this is his house and nobody's listening to him because they can't see him. So he's doing shit. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think we can take pictures or video of them? Any ghost?
I think so. With some of the technology that we have, and I'm not saying every ghost show that's out there is 100% fucking legitimate, but there are people that just take random pictures and they're like, some of them are a stretch, but then there's other pictures out there or even recordings, like what? Like how did that even come to be? You know what I mean? There's something there.
How good do you think your eyesight is compared to, say, an owl?
Horrible.
Do you think owls believe in ghosts?
I don't know. I've never talked to one other than the Tootsie Roll one. And he tried to tell me how many licks it took to get to the center, and he chomped on it on the third bite. So
you're still going through therapy for that one. I understand. I actually was told not to bring that up by your handler before we started here. But I mean, honestly, the ultimate question, and I try to find cute ways to get to it, but I kind of personally believe that human eyesight is like, we think it's so incredibly complex. But we are like the ultimate bumpkins of the sensory world. We have just barely the amount of vision to get us through a day. And like our smell compared, or hearing compared to dogs, right? Maybe not our vision because apparently we can see more colors, but compare our vision to like a bug, like a freaking butterfly. Butterfly can see more colors of the spectrum we can. So ultimately, I don't believe my eyes. And even if you show me the most crisp picture, I won't believe that. Even if you bring me out and point in the sky and say, look, there's the UFO right there, I'll throw a rock at it and you hear it go tink and it bounces off, I'd still be like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't, like, these eyes are like only so advanced, you know?
Until he comes down and shakes my fucking hand and says, ET phone home, then I'll believe. I get where you're coming from with that, because, you said dog's eyesight, sense of smell and hearing. You have sight hounds, you have scent hounds, you have dogs that are I wouldn't say hear hounds, but are more ear sensitive.
Well, they got the freaking, even my little lap dog that has no real purpose in the modern world, but like you can see when the ear goes up and starts like rotating on its own and doing like this little beacon thing. Like our ears don't do that.
No.
Or I don't.
And when you see a dog just kind of staring off into a corner that's all dark and kind of growling or doing weird shit, or even cats, I'm not a big cat fan, but animals, I think they see on a different spectrum than we do. We're told that they can't see color like we can. I've never seen the study personally, but it's, I don't know, maybe they see in a different infrared, or just there's something there that they see, and you might be experiencing some weird shit in your fucking house. And I don't know. I'll turn to my dogs for a second opinion over. Did you hear something outside, or did you? Because I have a coonhound, so if there's like a fucking weird ass smell or whatever,
okay. There's certain words that we allow on this podcast, and there's certain words we don't. I don't know what kind of crap
Ryan.
they've got in boom. Okay, yeah. I don't know.
All right, Ryan. He always busts my ass about, what, he's a fucking coonhound. Yes, they're a breed of hound dogs that go after raccoons.
Sure. That feels like a retrofitted thing, but that's cool. Do dogs have souls?
If you were to ask me when I was younger, I would have said no, because that's what Christianity told me. Oh, animals don't have souls. They don't go to heaven. You ask me that now, I think they do. There's just, man, the way when you have a dog and you have a bond with that dog, and sometimes you're just sitting there, kind of venting or just talking, and they're looking at you, and you just kind of have that connection. Every now and again, they have that human eye connection, and you're like, hey, man, like even now, I'm actually under the belief that my dogs know exactly what I'm saying, and when I leave, they actually talk to each other. Because I'll be like in the morning leaving for work, and I'll look at like my coonhound, I'll let him out. My big dog Bane, I'll be like, don't go out and lollygag. You go out, do your business, and come back in. Every time I tell him that, I don't know if it's because I don't know. How does he know what lollygag means? He goes out, does his business, he comes back, paws up the door. That's his way of knocking, and comes in. But if I don't tell him that, he'll go out there and fucking lollygag. So I don't know. I think they do. I think they do. I think I don't want to sound hippy dippy, but I think all animals probably do to an extent. I don't want to say to an extent, but I think they do. I mean, everything's put here for a purpose, even us. You know what I mean? Even the fucking skunk's put here for a fucking purpose. And the mosquito. What it is, I don't know.
Do you think there's a hierarchy to souls? Like, do you think like a mosquito's soul is less valuable than a human soul?
Part of me wants to say no, but the other part of me, when one lands on me and I smack the shit out of it and kill it, I don't give a fuck. I don't lose sleep over it. You know what I mean? So it's like, maybe I just put you to your resting place faster than the 24 hours that you were supposed to be alive. I don't know.
Where's the line? Is it like, let's say that mosquito was your dog, just a mosquito-sized dog. Do you just like swat it away and not care anymore? Or does it matter now that like it's, got like a dog personality? Even if you never even noticed it before, but you know that every mosquito is a dog, does it make you feel bad? Or is it a size thing? Like if once they get to a certain size, does it not matter?
No, it's a harm thing, because I'm a huge dog lover, but if you don't raise your dog right and it's a fucking asshole, and I got bit in the dick by a dog already. And the only reason I didn't go back with my fucking gun and put a bullet in its fucking head is because it was my son's best friend's dog. Now, come to find out later, they had rescued it. They ended up having to put it down because he was fucking retarded.
Bit someone else's dick?
Yeah, he bit everybody. He was just a fucking asshole. He attacked everybody, even their own family. And even my son's best friend, he's like, dude, this was probably a month or two ago. He's like, I wish you would have came back that day and shot that fucking dog in the head. So if they're performing harm like that? Yeah, probably so.
Another sponsor for this episode is Best Friends Animal Society, where they also just take your dog out back and shoot it in the head because of, from what I understand, allegedly, and this is Minecraft version of the Best Friend Animal Society, not the real life version. This is the Minecraft video game fictional version, but they shoot dogs in the head and they traffic them for satanic worship rituals. It's the craziest, quirkiest thing. So this dog that bites everyone, another one, quick pro tip, another sponsor, Jif Peanut Butter. If you feed the dog creamy peanut butter, they'll get more into the habit of licking. But if you ever deviate and get them hooked on crunchy peanut butter, you're asking for trouble, because that's when they start a chomping. You know, you're training them to bite down when they taste peanut butter, but if you only give them creamy, then they're trained to lick. Just pro tip, I read that on a 4chan deep thread long time ago. So let's say this dog that's biting you in the dick, does that have a less valuable soul than a dog that is nice to you, or is the soul the equivalent?
Soul's the equivalent. I can't put a value on it. You know what I mean? I'm not the person that says my soul's better than you. Huh?
0 to 10. What's the value of the soul? 0 to 10. On a dog that bites you in the dick. Are you still giving it a 10? Or are you giving it a 9?
Can't judge. I can't judge that soul. Just like I can't judge yours.
So when you say you can't judge it, though, does that mean it's by default a 10 until somebody knocks it down a peg? Or does it mean that you give everyone a 5 and it's up to God to figure out if they're higher or lower than that? Like, I don't believe anyone when they say they don't judge. I think it just means they judge, but their judgment has no bearing on anything, so it's therefore meaningless. But I'm asking for the actual judgment.
I'm gonna judge the dog there in the moment, but the thought of its soul never crosses my mind.
What
if
about
that makes any sense?
Jeffrey Dahmer? Or Jared from Subway. They're basically the same thing.
Right. Their soul?
They still a 10?
In my eyes, they're pieces of shit.
Do they even get a 9? Or are they still like, you know, up to God to decide? They might be a 10. Theoretically, Jeffrey Dahmer and Jared are a 10 out of 10 on the soul front.
Man, these are some hard-hitting questions.
Really? I mean,
in a moral type setting, yeah, like because like they're fucked up people. 10. It's not for me to decide. You did what you did. I know I don't like what you did. I think you're a piece of shit. In my eyes, my personal eyes, you're probably a 0, but we all have the same. We all have a soul or whatever, and it's for a purpose by a creator. That's for him to judge, not me. Like I don't know. Maybe that's just the whole religious, upbringing and indoctrination that I grew up with.
Do you think there's a chance that the historical Jesus was just like a really good person, good role model, and that it kind of evolved into this huge legend, but ultimately it points to one person that had like a really awesome way of looking at life, and that if everyone lived that way, then the world would be better?
I'm going to say a strong 9 on that.
Now, do you think that he and Jeffrey Epstein are both 10s on the soul rating?
Yeah.
Bold. You heard it here. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up on that question. That was a good one. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a hard, because ultimately, and you played the game very well. You get off the hot seat a little bit, but ultimately, like what I wanted to guide that towards is there any circumstance whatsoever when the soul of the best dog in the world is better than the soul of the worst human in the world? Is that even a possibility, reality? But since everyone gets a 10, you escaped the clutches of that particular paradox. Because the next question is, would you eat a person? And if so, Or if not, would you eat a horse? And if not, would you eat a dog? And if not, would you eat a cat? And if not, would you eat a rat? And are you a vegan? And if you're not, you know what I mean? Anyways, I've got endless questions that we can go down.
Now,
But
to be fair about eating human, if I was in a certain life or death survival situation, okay, we're talking about that plane that crashed on
alive.
what was it, the Andes Mountains. I think in a situation like that, your human survival instinct kicks in. Is it something you really want to do, or you just fucking stomach it because you're that fucking hungry? I think you might. It's no different than being stranded in the fucking woods and eating a fucking worm at the end of the day, or eating some gross shit just to get the fucking protein and energy, maybe to make it another mile down the road in hopes that there's help. Would I eat a horse, a dog, any animal in that kind of situation? Fair game.
if your option was human or worm, are you going worm every single time?
I really hate worms.
So no.
Like earthworms really gross me the fuck out. And you've heard it first here on Paranoid American podcast, because everybody knows I don't like midgets and I don't like fucking ET. Earthworms, they fucking stink. Blech, blech, ugh. I don't think I could. I could eat a white grub before I would eat a worm.
What about snails?
I'd eat snails.
Why do snails get different treatment than worms?
Well, they don't stink.
Well, okay, so hold on. Just to be clear, I guess I'm imagining in my mind that it goes through like an escargot process, right? You clean the snail, you cook it in butter. Would you not do that to the worm? Or like, I never gave the stipulation that you just had to grab a fucking handful of dirty worms and start going to town.
Oh, okay. So if you're going to fancy it up, I'll try anything once.
Let's say you hated it. Would you go to human after that? Let's say human tasted a little bit like pork and worms tasted exactly what you imagine worms tasted like.
I'd probably have to turn into a cannibal. And then I get that fucking weird mind disease and turn into Hillary Clinton.
You're talking about Kuru, and you can actually avoid Kuru if you just don't eat the brain. The rest of the body is completely fair game.
Oh, okay. You didn't catch how I said her last name, did you?
Hillary who?
Clinton.
Who?
Clinton.
Oh, you're very clever, sir. The wit. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up on there. I can't top the wordplay of this absolute Shakespearean poet.
You can.
I love you, Neil. I love you, Ghost, man. Thank you. It took so long for us to finally get together and do this, for the schedules to overlay. I hope that I get to go on another one of your shows, Tavern. Absolutely. And the other one that starts with C. Yeah.
Ooh,
thanks for offending.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you on as Bean of the Week.
I don't even know what that means.
Bean of the Week. Okay, I'm the left lip ghost. Ryan is the right lip. Okay, cunt. Get it? It's pussy. So when we have a guest host on, they're the bean, the clitoris.
I'm the man in the boat.
Yeah, you're the man in the boat.
I forgot I was speaking with a poet, my good sir. How quickly my thoughts are so fleeting whenever I'm in your presence.
Oh, shit. So, thanks for gaslight.
Where can people find you and all of the pictures of your, what did you call them, bat wings? Do you still have the bat wings on social media? The Batwing collection. Not your bat wings. Your Batwing collection.
I had to take that down because I was being investigated, but I still have the Legwart, the eye satin gum, and the dove's breast up on dovesbreast.com.
Oh, I'm actually going to go to dovesbreast.com right now, and I'm going to look up legwart.com and dovesbreast.com. Neither of those exist, dude. Hold on. I mean, this isn't real time because I'm pre-recording, but I might purchase legwart.com right now. Let's see. I don't even have the money to be doing this, honestly.
It's probably
Let's
like
just
12
see.
bucks.
Let's see if it's available. I got to do my freaking. This is how real it is, and I'm doing my two-factor
Legwart.com.
authentication, dude. This is real. This is not just for show.
This is great.
How every once in a while, there's like, I can't believe that name exists. Now that's me. Let's see, legwart.com. $10. Would you pay $10 to own legwart.com?
It's what, $10 a year?
Legwart, yeah, $10 a year.
I'm okay now. Bar for more expensive than $10.
That's always the mentality going into these. Is like I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. But if anyone's watching, that legwart.com is memorable. It's short. It is almost impossible to even get two English words together that are this short, 2 syllables, the .com version of it. The only reason I'm not going to get this right this second is I'm a little short on money. Please go to paranoidamerican.com, buy stickers and comics, and like I've got, dude, like ridiculous amounts of product. I didn't even look at where I don't know if you noticed this. If you replay this, I didn't even look. I just reached over here and grabbed, and there's like I can just keep doing this and keep grabbing more and more crap like every single time I reach over off screen. So anyways, I need you to buy all of this. If you guys were buying enough of this, I would be able to buy legwart.com right now on a whim, but I don't have that kind of income yet.
Actually, go buy his stuff. Do you have Cash App?
I do. Cash App. I got PayPal. We got Venmo.
I'll Cash App you $10. We'll go halfies on legwart.com.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I didn't get to finish my thought. I was going to say the other part of this is that I'm afraid of what ideas I might come up with on what to do with legwart.com, and none of them feel like they would add to my resume if I were to go looking for a job anytime. Like there's not a single instance that I can search in my mind that I would say, oh, and check out legwart.com, a little side project that I did with my buddy Ghost, old military pal.
Should we do it or should we not?
I mean, I'm already in checkout.
Okay, hold on.
Checkout. We'll have to discuss what we're gonna do with this later. This might just be an expensive $10 joke that doesn't live outside of this, but. So we are here. I'll let you know. 3, 2, 1. Paranoidamerican.com is now the proud owner of legwart.com. I don't know if we're going to do a cross-branding thing. We might actually keep these brands separate on their own individual tracks.
You have, at this point, the title of the show is legwart.com.
Okay, Batwing.com is taken, and it was bought in 1999. I wonder if Batwing. Oh my God! No, I'm just kidding. That would be awesome if you just loaded it and it was just a Batwing. Okay, so today's sponsor is actually legwart.com. Go and check out legwart.com and whatever that ends up being. And thank you, Ghost.
You're welcome. I'll plug my stuff before, because we got sidetracked. Patreon.com/My Third Eye Podcast. Instagram, My Third Eye Podcast. Gmail is mythirdeyepod@gmail.com. If you want to be a guest on the show, My Third Eye Podcast booking@gmail.com. Other than that, wherever you listen to a podcast, you can get My Third Eye Podcast and all the shows that I do. I've taken a hiatus from the tavern, but you still get cunt. You get the left lip, the right lip, and every now and again you get a bean in the middle. The little man in the boat, you got to flick him, and wow, sometimes it squirts with truth and conspiracy.
All American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. Seek out all your favorite conspiracies. All the land and more on a sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret societies. All of these and more on a sticker sheets.
Explore the unique with Paranoid American sticker sheets. Unearth tales of cryptids, cults, and mysteries through each sticker. These won't last long. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.
We're all American stickers, cryptids, cults, and killers. We got all your favorite conspiracies, all of that and more on our sticker sheets. Paranoid American stickers, they'll make you smile and snicker. False flags and secret societies, all of these and more on our sticker sheets.
What the heck are you waiting for? Discover the extraordinary with Paranoid American sticker sheets. From cryptids in the night to cults out of sight, each sticker is a unique find. Get yours now at paranoidamerican.com.